Vice President and General Manager Ken Holland, Captain Nicklas Lidstrom, and Red Wings owner Mike Ilitch. At this point, I will turn the microphone over to number 5, Captain Nicklas Lidstrom.
Thanks, John. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today, coming down to Joe Louis Arena for this announcement. Today, after 20 seasons as a player for the Detroit Red Wings, I'm announcing my retirement. Before I get into thanking everyone, I'd like to make a few comments about retiring. Some point in time catches up with everyone and diminishes their ability to perform something you love and care about passionately, comes to an end sooner than what you would have liked. The last 2 years, I waited until after the season was over to assess my ability to play another year. I'll need to let a few weeks go by to get a reading on my body's ability to recover from the grind of an NHL season. Sadly, this year, it's painfully obvious to me that my strength and energy level are not rebounding enough for me to continue to play. My drive and motivation are not where it needs to be to play at this level. That's why I feel that it's time to retire. I'm aware that some people think that my skills have only diminished some and that I can still help the Wings win games. I truly appreciate their support. When I signed with the Wings back in '91, I never envisioned myself playing for 20 years. It's been a great, great ride.
91.
The Red Wings drafted me back in 1989.
There you go.
And hundreds of players and people, coaches have been part of my success, and I never thought this would ever come to something like this, that I would be able to be part of Stanley Cup championships, winning Norris trophies, and having parades through downtown Detroit, something I never even thought about. I'd like to thank some of the people that are here. I can't thank everyone that I play with and been part of my career. Press conference is not that long, but I'd like to mention a few people that's been part of my career here with the Detroit. I'd like to start with Mr. and Mrs. I and Chris Ilitch, the ownership of the Red Wings, for their support over the years, over 20 years, their passion for the game. They're willing to invest and put everything that they have in their product to get something good on the ice and try to win at the end. They've been tremendous owners, great support from me and my family, and I'm truly thankful what they've done for us. I'd like to thank Kenny, Jim Nill, Jimmy DeValano, and Ryan Martin for their support over the years. They've always tried to put a good product on the ice, and they're always telling me that we're going to do whatever we can to win another championship. And Kenny and I have had some, what he calls fireside chats, where I told him this probably started maybe 10, 12, 14 years ago, that I do have an agent, so I'm not willing to negotiate with you. But he said, this is not a negotiation. We're just going to sit down and chat and talk. And he laid out his game plan and his sales pitch, and Kenny, it worked every time. I never even wanted to leave Detroit. I always believed in this team and this organization and what they could do to win another Stanley Cup. I'm very thankful for that. I'd like to thank some of the coaches I've had over the years. Starting in Sweden, when I was 16, I moved away from home, and I got a coach named Per Mortz that took care of me and I think started guiding me in the right direction to become a solid hockey player. He now is the coach for the Swedish national team. Kurt Lundmark was another coach that I've had growing up, especially in junior hockey, that guided me as well in the right direction. Ben Gustafsson was another coach I had in 2006 Olympics when we had a chance to win the gold medal. He was also a player friend as well when we won the World Championships in '91. I'd like to thank Brian Murray for being my first coach in NHL and kind of getting me in the door and giving me an opportunity to play over here. He partnered me with Brad McCrimmon my first year, and we played every game together. So I'm very thankful for what Brian did for me early on in my career. Scotty Bowman came in and I think took my game to another level. He gave me a lot of confidence by playing me a lot, getting me out on the ice, and really pushing me to become a better player. And that gave me a ton of confidence to succeed and excel my career and the way I was playing. Alongside Dave Lewis and Barry Smith, there were other two that was very important to my career. I think Louis was my assistant coach my first year, actually my first 13 years, and he taught me how to play D, how to be a solid two-way defenseman, not just thinking about the offense and being part of the power play, but playing sound defensively in your own zone, not being overly physical, but doing the job to get it done. Mike Babcock coming in, along with Tom McClellan, Paul McLean, and later Brad McCrimmon. I think Babs continued to give me the confidence. He showed me and helped me to become a leader on this team. He put me out in all the key situations that forced me, and that's something I wanted to stay at the level where I wanted to be. I was getting up there in age. I was 36, 37, and I wanted to continue to play at the high level, at the top level, and Babs gave me that opportunity. Every night he relied on me and put me out there in situations that I had a chance to succeed in, so I'm very grateful for that. I've had a lot of teammates over the years with the Wings, and starting with some of the alumni that we see every now and again coming through our locker room: Ted Lindsay, Alex Delecchio, Gordie Howe, guys that if you look around, even in this room, you see a lot of pictures, and we see that in our locker room too, that meant a lot to this organization back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and kind of showed the way to how to play Red Wing hockey. And I think just even for the current players, to have those guys come in, give them an opportunity to talk to them, talk some memories, explain how the game was played back then, just having a chance to chit-chat with them, I think is very important. So I'm very thankful to meet some of those older players that's been part of this organization for so many years. I played with some great teammates over the years that's been great friends as well, and the best a player could hope for. Steve Eisenman, Brendan Shanahan, Brett Hall, Luke Robitaille, Igor Larionov, Hasek, Mike Vernon, Chris Osgood, Chris Draper, Maltz, McCarty, Fedorov, Cicerelli. You can go down the list with Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers. That's been a pleasure for me to play with. They taught me a lot of things that I think you need to get to the level where I wanted to be. I think you need good teammates around you, and they've been that. I have my current teammates. I know some of them are here. Homer, Croner's here. I saw Bert, Abby, Clears is here. A lot of the guys, I might not remember everyone that's here, but the current team, I believe, is a very solid team. We didn't get it done this year because of obvious reasons, but I really like the core group that the Wings have in the locker room right now. I'd like to thank our trainers, Pete Russ, Paulie, JR, Chica, and our doctors. They kind of work in the background. You don't see them a whole lot, but they kind of make everything work. You're hurt, I got your bumps and bruises, but they're taking care of you. I remember a couple years ago I had a knee surgery in mid-August, so the first day I came back, our doctors had surgery on my knee right away. They took care of me right away. Pete came to my house a couple of days after, started doing rehab, and we're talking mid-August. We're not back in September. We're not back in training camp. They're willing to sacrifice their time for the players to get back on the ice and perform to their best abilities. So I'm very thankful for that as well. From our ownership to all my teammates there, to Al, who takes care of the ice, to Frank, who fills up the fridge with water bottles, to Leslie serving us lunch, all the ushers and people around that you don't see on an everyday basis, but you see them when you come out of the games or when you're here for different events. I want to thank those people too to help me and my family, taking care of our family when they're coming to games, making sure they're comfortable. And Monica's been coming to games with the boys she's been coming over 20 years, and she knows a lot of them personally, and they're very, very nice to my family, and I want to extend my gratitude to them as well. I want to thank media for being real professional to me, and I try to show respect to you. I try to be available as much as I can. Sometimes you can't tell everything that's going on, but I'm sure you understand that you don't want everything to come out. But I try to treat you with respect, and I felt that I got that back from you guys, so I appreciate that. Our fans, when I was injured here late in the season, I had watched a few games up in the press box, and when you're sitting up there, you get a better feel of when you're closer to the fans to feel how passionate they are. You're on the ice, you're in the heat of the moments, you're focused on the game, and you can hear the fans, but you're so focused on what you're doing on the ice. But when you're up in the stands or up in the press box, and you can feel how passionate they are. We're very fortunate as a team and as players to have those fans behind us. And we've seen them during the parades and different charity events that we have as a team. Fans are a big part of this organization, I think a big part of Hockeytown. To my family, and I have Annika and my three boys here, Samuel, Lucas, and Adam. My son Kevin, he's over in Sweden. He'll be here in a couple of days, so he can make it out here today. But I'd like to thank my family, and especially Annika, for raising four boys. It's not easy when you have a husband that's not home all the time, that's not doing a 9-to-5 job, that's coming home and being there to take the kids to their activities, their events. There's homework, there's dinners to be made. But Annika's been doing all that, and she's been amazing. She's an amazing woman. I take a lot of pride in what I've done here over the last 20 years. I take a lot of pride in how hard I work, how I prepare for games, representing my country in different Olympics or World Championships, and representing Detroit, not just the Red Wings, but the city itself too. We see a lot of fans when we travel around North America, and they're showing us great respect. So I take a lot of pride in being a Red Wing, but also being a player that comes from Detroit. It's not that the tank is completely empty. It just doesn't have enough to carry me through every day at that high level where I want to play at. My family and I are completely comfortable with this decision. Retiring today allows me to walk away from the game with pride rather than having the game walk away from me. So, thank you very much.
Mr.